Welcome to Bird Dog Politics. I'm BDP. My son said, I feel like I've entered a new chapter in life. And that's a pretty nerdy statement for a 10-year-old. But it's also very wise, and I appreciate that. It's pretty cool. On Tuesday, I had to take a ride an hour away up to where I work. And so my mom came to watch my kid. And she brought him to the school where the where the good people are feeding the children this summer. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, the school cafeteria is open for meet up and eat up. And Thursdays and Fridays, the parking lot between the Masonic Temple and the Episcopalian Church is full of socialists handing out free food to children. No questions asked. This is a very impoverished region. I'm actually on the luckier side of things. As a teacher with a teacher salary, some of my friends would like to have my salary. Some of my friends are in worse shape than I am. But we're all struggling. And so the free lunches help. And I can't imagine taking that away just because. One big, beautiful mistake, I think that would be. But on his way back from lunch, he ran into one of his buddies who was out bike riding. And so his buddy followed my kid back to our house, and they started playing basketball in the driveway. And that's where they were when I got home. I said, hey, Dad. Hey, bud. And after they got tired of playing basketball, they decided they'd go to his buddy's house. And so I said, Dad, I'm out of here. I said, okay. And I texted the buddy's mom. I said, they're coming your way. And I watched him out the window, and I took pictures and sent them to my wife and said, oh, he's growing up so fast. Because we used to live on the other side of town, and there's not as much. You have to cross the main drag to get to us. And now we're on the other side of the main drag, and the main drag can be busy. So I hadn't been letting my kid cross the main drag by himself. But now we're on the other side, so no worries. And he was going to go to his buddy's parents' house, but his buddy's grandma lives on our street. So I watched him go down the street. I watched him park his bike in grandma's yard, hang out for 20 minutes, and then take off again. And they went to his buddy's house, hung out for a while, and came back and said, all right, we're done playing at my buddy's house. Now we're just going to ride around, just see who's outside, what's happening in town. I'll be back at 4. Sounds good, bud. Have fun. Stay out of trouble. And it really was I think he's right. It is a new chapter. He knows that he's got a community. He knows that he's part of a community. And I know there's lots of fear-mongering out there about dangers and spooky things. But we live in the middle of the woods. And everyone knows my kid is my kid. And everyone knows who every kid belongs to. No one's out here to hurt others. We're a community. We're proud of our students. We're proud of our student athletes. The sheriff has 3 kids in town. My kid knows the sheriff. His mom and his stepmom both work with him. He's got GPS and a camera and a phone with him at all times. So do all kids. Last year, my ex-wife said, oh, there's strange vehicles lurking in town. Kid's got a phone, camera, GPS on him at all times, and so do way too many of the kids. I agree with the former Surgeon General who said that kids should not have a cell phone until they're 14. I absolutely believe that. Kids with a cell phone before 14, nothing but trouble. And I fully intend to restrict that to my kid. He's not on a cell phone right now. He's on a watch, but the watch can call me and the watch has GPS, and that's great. I used to want to make little shoelace charms with GPS on them. And no other data, just write out this long serial code for the particular charm and put it on a Google map. That was one of my $1 million ideas. Might still work, I don't know. But my son is out enjoying himself, feeling like a grown young man, and I'm being a dad watching him out the window until I realize, come on, he's a kid, it's okay. Don't buy into the fear-mongering. That movie came out where the guy rescued the kid from the trafficking, from the Central American cartels. It was loosely based on a true story. It was a guy that played Jesus in The Passion of the Christ. I don't remember his name anymore. But around the same time, we had a trafficking incident in the Northwoods. Someone at the Mackinac Bridge toll was alerted that human trafficking could be a possibility, and saw some rustling in the backseat under a blanket and notified authorities, and they prevented some trafficking, and that was good. But the backstory is interesting to me because the kid was downstate in a city, in a group home or some setting like that. And it wasn't going well. She was not doing well there. So they moved her up to the UP, to the Northwoods, and put her in a foster group home sort of residency like that. But the girl still had a cell phone. So she called downstate and she said, come get me. She told the human trafficker to come get her. And so the human trafficker drove across the bridge, came up, found the place, liberated the girl from where she was, and got busted at the bridge. That's the sort of trafficking that I'm interested in, because that's preventable. I have not seen gangs of Central Americans up here in the Northwoods. But I can see some kids thinking, I'm going to run away from home. I'm going to call somebody I think I can trust. And it turns out you can't trust that person. So, of course, I got to tell my kid, dude, you lost a library book in the backseat of a truck. My kid, library book, junk. And he couldn't find the library book in the backseat of the truck. I said, absolutely nobody in town needs your help looking for a puppy. Don't you ever. And yeah, they'll say you're Bird Dog's kid. It's pretty clear. And they'll say, I know your dad. Doesn't matter, not good enough. And you teach them the rules that are important, and you be honest about it. And I think there's a lot of that I'd like to address with this channel. We sugarcoat things. We avoid uncomfortable discussions. I'd like to stop doing that. This is not going to be a channel for insults and baby talk and simplified anything. These problems are big. These problems are deep. And I want to address them. But today, I want to talk about my kid. Because Israel bombing Iran and President Trump talking tough about Iran and the big beautiful bill threatening Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP, Head Start, NOAA, meteorology. What else does it have its fingers into? What else is it destroying from the inside? I don't know. It's rough. And tomorrow's Paycheck Friday, but today the wallet's tight. The checkbook is tight. I have a Roth IRA that represents my life savings. And I know I'm lucky. I know a lot of my buddies don't have a Roth IRA. But After 19 years of teaching, my Roth IRA was up to 50 grand. But then I had to pull $11,000 for a down payment on this house so that I could fit my baby girl. We were living in a family house. My great-grandpa built it. It's always been in the family, so my mom didn't ask for rent. She thought I was saving money. I was trying. I drive a 2008 Toyota Corolla, also from Grandma. When I hit a small animal, I didn't have it fixed. I just drive it. Looks like hell. There's a lot of that in this community too. You get an fender bender and you don't fix it. There's a lot of worrying until Paycheck Friday. And then even after Paycheck Friday, there's more worry. My wife and I got into a decent fight this morning, and we realized it's all because of the checkbook. It is stressful as hell to work a full-time job, to have your wife work a full-time job, and to come home and have very little to show for it. Did I buy VIP tickets to Summer of Loud? No. Ever since Brian left I Prevail, or whatever happened, I don't know. It just kind of bums me out. But hey, you can't really afford to go to Summer of Loud anyway. Did I buy Packers Lions tickets? Vegas vacation? None of that. It's all Walmart and the gas station. 5 years ago, I was still a teacher. I was still driving a 2008 Corolla. But there was money. I'd take my son mini golfing probably once a week. That was no big deal. And then we'd go get a Happy Meal after that because he was 5. And mini golf and Happy Meals are about the pinnacle. And then COVID hit. The supply chains were interrupted, so prices skyrocketed. Then the vaccines worked and the supply chains were restored. And prices came. Nope. They were supposed to, weren't they? Once your supply chain is fixed, prices should naturally come down, but they didn't. Corporate said, Americans are used to paying these prices. And then on the quarterly earnings call, never better, world record profits. This has been a great quarter for us. Our costs are low. Our profits are high. It's good to be us. And then the next quarter, same report. You beat your record profit margin even further. And there's this group in the stock market just watching these numbers go up and up and up on the screen. Reminds me of my kid playing Fortnite. Dad, I leveled up. Oh, cool. What level are you at now? 150. Corporate's over there. Hey, 150 million. Climbing every day. How do you do it? You shortchange your people. It's the only way. There used to be a middle class because the rich had to pay taxes. Now the rich don't have to pay taxes. Reagan took care of that. Bush made it worse. Trump made it worse. Trying to make it even worse. Biden did absolutely nothing to fix it. Obama did very little to fix it. Bill Clinton balanced the budget. He took in more money than he spent. It's always interesting to me at campaign season when these politicians say the government's got to pay its bills, just like any family. I can agree with that. I can appreciate that. When the credit card bill comes, do you think that's the time to quit your job? Is that the time to ask for fewer hours at work to raise less revenue when the credit card bill comes in? Because that seems to be the Republican strategy. Oh, we got all this debt. What should we do? Let's bring in less revenue. Tax cuts. And the tax cuts will pay for themselves. Rich people will be so tired of being rich, they'll say, oh my gosh, I'm rich. I don't like it. Ugh, it's hard being so rich. I need to give away all my money. Let me go look for some nice Americans to give away all my money to. Is that what we're holding our breath for? That's my understanding of trickle-down economics. If you want to clarify that for me, someone, anyone, because that's my understanding. We give the rich so much money, they'll say, oh, I'm sick of money. It's too much. They just watch that number grow on the computer. There's no concept. I'm so old that I used to get paid with a paycheck, a piece of paper that was put in my mailbox. And I would bring it to the credit union. And then my employer came up with direct deposit. And if I gave permission, then the secretary would drive directly to the credit union with my paycheck and deposit it for me. That's how old I am. I've been teaching a long time. 18 years. Highly effective or effective. I saw the former mayor of my town. She came in this spring and she said, I'm so glad to see you're still here. I'm so glad that you're still in this building with these kids. I said, thank you so much. I miss you. It's great to hear a little bit of confidence, a little bit of praise every once in a while. Really makes up for some of the negatives. They tell us as teachers 4 positives to every negative. And then you still remember the negative anyway. But as my kid enters a new chapter in his life, I enter a new chapter in mine too. Maybe cashing in that Roth IRA, starting back to square one, and hoping bird dog politics is my retirement. I don't know. If you think I'm making any sense at all, please like, subscribe, share. This is going to be underground for a bit. And then sometime later in the summer, we're going to go public. I'll try to gather some people together. Put the focus where it really needs to be. The focus needs to be on our paychecks, on our checkbooks. It doesn't have to be anywhere else. You're not going to hear me talk about identity politics other than the identity of being a poor, hardworking, full-time employed American. Just got denied my prescriptions yesterday. That's another episode. But for now, this is Bird Dog Politics. I'm BDP.